I love the delivery. And then you look down here, you see at the end of his, you see at the end of this tablecloth, hummus. I tell you, you look at this house, you open the mailbox, letters. Who is this from? It's like Arabic, hummus. It looks like a Borat sketch. I have a bone to pick with the entirety of all coverage of the Israel-Palestine conflict, and it is, I don't know what's going on, and I think anybody that says they do is lying. Every time. The only person I think has half a grasp on this, because I've been watching him learn about it and deciding, like, basically, like, do I want to also try to learn this shit, is Destiny, of all people. Because all that guy has been doing for the past 2 weeks is just relentlessly doing Israel-Palestine research. The guy knows the history, like, back to all the way back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just reading it and, like, seeing some of his sources. Like, could I get a grasp on this if this guy's diving this deep? And I'm like, no, I can't. I cannot figure out all of this shit and untangle this fucking web of goofiness. In any way that wouldn't be, like, just extremely costly to my overall time. That's not to say my heart doesn't go out to the people that is that bad things are happening to, but, like, goddamn, all of the information that comes from it on a day-to-day basis is the most, like, propaganda-laden nonsense, and that's from Hamas and from IDF. As far as, like, the actual citizenry go, you know, people are wrong, people are right sometimes. I guess everybody's just like, we really wish the shooting would stop in a general sense from every direction, but, like, I guess that's not going to happen. In any case, I came across this video and I watched, like, a few minutes of it because I was just like, oh, a guy in a helmet. Like, I always have a thing for any military video. I'll start watching it. And then I got confused and I was like, is this a joke? Because, and if you don't know this, the Israeli accent is the Borat accent. That is Sacha Baron Cohen doing an Israeli accent. That very nice. You'll know if you go this way, you could find your way down the hallway. Like, it's a little bit amped up, you know? But that's actually the Israeli accent. And so when I don't think of that on purpose going into something, I got confused. And so I thought this dude was taking the piss for a second, and I realized it is not the case. Destiny has been great researching Israel-Palestine history. The only big hole he has, and most people are talking about this, is that most people have no clue about military actions and how that all is. Oh, yeah. That would definitely be a big fucking... That would be a whole thing. Like I'm saying, you got to fucking have a very, very... It's a very long conflict, and it's just 24/7 conflict. Any random thing that happened in a march in 1992, you know, like, that's like, it'll be like a small blip in the historical radar, but it's like, this is the most important reason for this thing, and this is why Ariel Sharon did this. You're like, oh, fuck, okay, man. I can't confirm or refute anything you're fucking saying. But what I can do is I can use my eyes and see stuff, and this is the weirdest fucking video. I don't know why these guys necessarily released it, but what they're trying to say is, IDF spokesperson Rear Admiral? Really? RADM, yeah, Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari walked through one of Hamas' subterranean tunnels, only to exit in Gaza's Rantisi hospital on the other side. Inside these tunnels, Hamas terrorists hide, operate, and hold Israeli hostages against their will. And, okay, yeah, this is the actual IDF account, followed by my buddy Josh, of course. So this is the guy, and this is all in English, so this is literally for an American audience. There's no other reason for this to be made. You know what I'm saying, in English.
I'm here in Gaza City. We are here next to a house of a terrorist. This is one of the senior terrorists who is the head of the operational naval operations that led the raids into Israel. His house is right next to a school. His house is 200 yards from the hospital of Rantisi.
Off rip, this does not look like a house. This looks like an apartment complex. You know what I'm saying? That might just be an issue with just translation, but this does not look like a single house. These are like almost, and I'm just gonna say, because I've been to Middle Eastern buildings before. I've been inside these fucking prefabs. You know, this looks like a fucking apartment building, right? And these are the separations between the rooms. It could be some guy's literal fucking mansion, but also I don't know, maybe not.
Next to his house, there is a tunnel.
So we just cut to the tunnel, which is crazy. Also, I did not cut the audio there. That just cut out on its own. I don't know why you wouldn't just show it if that's really happening. They show a tunnel complex entrance. That could be almost anything. You don't get to really see inside of it. And then he shows you this. They show you some drone cam video. So this doesn't look necessarily like the same area. I mean, it could be. These could be these fallen down shrubs and stuff. So actually, that could be there. I don't know if this is the entrance to a tunnel. It seems like we got a satellite dish on here. We got some pretty heavy blocks, but it could be anything. Yet again, I don't know why they cut the sound off. This has definitely been fucking. This is a whole like collapsed building right here. And so now we have like this drone footage, but I can't tell what I'm looking at. This is just like, if it is accurate, it's put together so poorly that it looks like you're fucking with me.
Show you an operational tunnel. The tunnel is built with electricity. We first saw the solar panels, then the electricity goes here, and it goes down directly to the tunnel.
Every time I see foreign fucking electrical, I have no idea what's going on.
Now you can see the tunnel. You can see the tunnel.
So this looks like, I think other people said this looks like a fucking elevator shaft. You have this this little like ladder and stuff. I mean, it might just be a shaft to like go up and down, you know. It could be just a tunnel, an access tunnel, but it's a little strange.
The tunnel is led down more than 20 meters down. The rowboat found a door that is bullet.
Because we have these tracks for some sort of elevator construct, and so all that big power would make sense to be going down. It's powering the fucking elevator.
It's explosive.
Yeah, you have your cables right here. So
looks like a hard evidence, a clear evidence that the hospital direction is connected. This is a covered tunnel. It's part of the same floor, and it slides down here. So it's a covered tunnel, so nobody can find it.
That also doesn't make sense. If it's just an access hatch to go down, I feel like. You know, like when you walk around in the city and you look down and then you're like, oh shit, I'm over a 3.5 like story drop because like this is an air vent that goes down like to recirculate from this down, or like it's got technology. Ugh. It's got like your fucking all sort of like electronics and shit that are down in there, and like the hot water and stuff access for the city are down in those. Like I feel like this could also be the same thing. Nothing he's saying, I can't prove he's wrong, but none of the shit he's talking about is like 100% guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? This is like poorly built. That's the thing. And like Israel is so fucking shady with sharing accurate information that like either you're sharing this and you're just doing it in a way where I'm like, what in the fuck is going on here? Why do you have sound cutting in and out of stuff in weird clips? If this is actually happening. I think right behind him is where that other thing was. Like maybe.
And this is the place where I showed you the tunnel. I want you to see.
I don't know. Okay, so yeah, there's that tunnel thing, maybe? Yet again, very weird. Very weird framing.
This is the backside of the hospital. Hamas used this hospital.
I gotta take his word for it. This is terrible, terrible information trade. What? I am looking at a fucking wall, man. Rear Admiral, it doesn't need to be so tight on you. If you were fucking mic'd up, which I think you are, have him pull the camera back a little bit while you explain what I'm looking at.
Entered into this building. I will show you the evidence. Let's enter into the hospital. We're now entering into the area of the hospital.
I've played this map of Tarkov, by the way.
The operation was conducted by Israeli Special Unit.
Did he get fucking hit in the face? What happened to his head? Why is he bleeding?
This is still an operation that is conducting. And I'm showing you building. I will show you of the hospital.
What happened to this
where
guy?
we had found the heavy.
Is this not the most suspicious video you've ever seen in your life? I was watching it earlier and I felt like I was taking fucking crazy pills. But this is absolute. Why is he fucking bleeding all of a sudden? So many questions. So many questions.
Evidence. This operation was conducted by Israeli Special Unit, the Israeli Navy SEALs. This is still an operation that is conducting. And I'm showing you the first evidence to see.
If you told me this was a Sacha Baron Cohen bit, like just put together, like I would believe
We
it.
are now in the area of the basement of the hospital. I want to show you a room where we found all the gear, the operational gear of Hamas. Hamas is using hospitals, like we showed the evidence in Shifa Hospital. In other hospitals, we are now seeing it in live in Rantisi Hospital. An operation still continues.
Why does he have such a weird fucking 16? I thought they all used G36s and Galils, right? Isn't the Taver? Don't Israelis use a Taver fucking rifle? Like they just gave this guy like some trainee's fucking gun. He's got a fucking original front end. Or no, I think I'm just looking at that weird, and that does have the Picatinny rails, but that looks like an original front end M4. We got an aim point on it, a custom grip that's not a standard M4 grip, and then a steel mag with somebody's fucking initials scratched into the side of it. And the most uncomfortable 2-point sling I've ever seen in my life. Like this is not I'm going to go around and do work type sling. This shit is miserable. Or actually, that might even be a 3-point sling that he just doesn't have on right, because I can see that little bit right there. But this is, like, you don't want to fucking use a 2-point sling. 2-point means it connects here and here, right? A 3-point sling has another point right here, so it kind of wraps around your chest, and you can press a little button, and it unclips from the front and slides up, and then it hangs more like a 1-point sling, which is just only connects like back here, or actually usually right here, and hangs around you, and then it's easier to work and stuff. If you have this is like, that's a miserable way to carry a gun, because if you think about it, you can just look. This is always connected, so when you shoulder it, this is going around the back of your fucking neck, and this is going either over or under your arm. It doesn't make it impossible to shoot with, but it's just way harder than it fucking needs to be to shoot with and maneuver. So it's just strange that he's got a 2-point on there. Like, or no, that is a 3-point. That is a 3-point sling. I can see the release. That it's right there. He just has it on wrong. Right? Am I fucking high? I used this little clip right here. You see that? It's one of those little that goes like pop and then it slides up. So yeah, this is a 3-point sling. He's just wearing it wrong. Because it should be around him in a little wrap right there, and then this will connect to kind of keep it in like a steady spot, and then if you need it, you can flip that, and then it'll go zoop, and then you can move around the front end of it a lot, and then if you need it to stop moving around, you push it back down there and clip it. It's like a working man's rifle type sling. Like if you're not only doing like building clearing and you have to work with your hands and shit, it's really good. Because it'll keep it out. If you use a 1-point, the 1-point's just gonna fucking bounce the entire time because it's just a loop that hangs like off the right, and the rifle just kind of bounces. But it's a 1-point's better for like room clearing and stuff because you can move it around the most, you know. Although it does offer no support. But yeah, that's just strange. I might be fucking talking out of my ass on his sling. A lot of people use M16 because America sells it to them so cheap to undercut the better rifles they produce. That's fucking madness. God damn, Israel's in a fucking bad state. I would never take an M16 over a Taver. If I had a gun, I want a Taver. They just look so fucking cool to me. Here we can see how the Hamas terrorists have the child cloning machines so they can use them as human shield. Fuck yeah. As you can see by this tunnel, somewhat close to a hospital, we had no choice but to destroy the hospital, completely missing the tunnel. Yeah, it's like, if IDF needs Tyler to proof watch their videos, I mean, like literally just anybody. Even if they're 100% accurate, this is the most suspicious shit. Also, this is clearly a layout, and you need to explain that you're doing a layout. We did these when I was in Iraq. We would find fucking caches of this or that, and you do a layout so that you can take inventory. This is so you can inventory all the stuff that you found. This is not proof of shit, with all due respect, because I don't know how it fucking got there. You know what I mean? This looks to the outside to me, who's very suspicious of just anybody that did the stuff that I did, because I know what you can and can't get away with. This is the military version of dropping a knife on a guy after you shoot him. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You do your layout with all the stuff you found. I never did anything like that, by the way.
I want you to understand.
So what do we got here? American style canteen. We have some grenades. Very, very smart, by the way, guys. Look at this grab bag ass collection of grenades. You see they wrapped them up in electrical tape to keep them safe. That's actually a really, really good idea. We've got all of their laptops. We have some ancillary things. It looks like it might be... It either looks like it might be a tool or some sort of novel, like not micro explosive. That sounds so fucking high tech. Something like a flare is what I meant to say. I think those are vests. I'm pausing super fast because I literally do not know how long these guys' shots are going to last. That looks like some sort of... That might be det. Why is that det cord? That could be det cord. This looks like type of in-ground mine, an anti-vehicle mine. I've seen versions of mines that look like this that are handmade in Iraq, and what you do is you put this on the street. You can actually put stuff around them, like to make it look like a fake speed bump, and then blow it up. Or sometimes they'll use them one after another and kind of just keep it on the street, and then you see it or you dead it in place. We call them stingrays, actually, yeah. And then you flip it upside down so it's flat on the top on the next time, because you just put it back in the same crater. Don't know what the rest of this is.
This kind of gear is a gear for a major fight.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that you guys found a lot of a very large amount of explosives. I don't know what's in these, but you only got 1, 2, 3, 4 Kalashnikovs, I think. And then you got 1, 2 RPG heads, maybe. I really can't see.
Explosives. These are vests with explosives. Yeah?
Suicide vest.
It's a body vest for terrorists to explode on forces. Among hospitals, among patients, we have hand grenades, Kalashnikovs, and then we have the RPGs. People shooting RPGs from hospitals. This is Hamas. Firing RPGs for hospitals. The world has to understand who is Israel.
Also, I don't even know if I'm in a hospital right now, because this doesn't look like a hospital at all. This looks like some kid's room. You know what? Is this like a bed? I don't know. You have failed to establish any facts here. If you could at least show me like a setup, like that these things were not in here. You know, like, oh hey, this is like a sniper hide, a shot. Like
we're now in the basement. And in this basement, we found a motorcycle. They were all used in the massacre of the 7th of October.
Is that true? I thought they flew in on paragliders. A motorcycle in the Middle East being your smoking gun is crazy, because that's going to be a gun that's constantly fucking smoking.
They even have bullets in this motorcycle.
Wait, so this guy got shot? Did the dude riding the motorcycle get shot? No, this was taken here, by the way. Look, you can see, so this is a green paint on here and blackened, and this is all of the spalling from this shot all over it. So this was shot somewhere and disabled and then brought here. Or somebody shot a fucking motorcycle's gas tank in a basement, which is possible. It's not impossible, but that's a fucking insane thing to do, especially when you have all of outside to do it.
Back from the massacre on the 7th of October into Rantisi Hospital with hostages on a motorcycle. We're still researching this.
What?
Yards from here, we find the chair.
What the fuck was that? We are still researching this. And he showed me a glow stick that I believe was not lit, and then was lit. Okay, no, it's just he's got his light on it.
We're still researching this.
What do we got here? What in the fuck am I looking at? This is just like random military strap stuff and a glow stick. The glow stick might be theirs to mark this, area, but what in the fuck am I looking at? Instant cut. He zoomed in on it, and the second you can see it, it's an instant cut away.
We find the chair, a woman, clothes, and a rope. A rope next to the legs.
My man, this is a fucking shoestring. And there's not much in the way of wear around this, but
And look,
you know, when I do something to somebody, buy a chair, I leave their clothes on the chair. And the shoestring that I tied them to with, is that what we're behind it? And then she's what? She's sitting underneath this
look
switch?
above this. Look above it. It's a baby bottle. It's a baby bottle.
You have, if this is, then you've kind of proved that there was a lady in here with clothes and a baby. Fucking shout out WHO, man. And she's got a Tamagotchi.
Basement. Above a World Health Organization sign. This
Sign, it's clearly part of the infrastructure of the building, bud. What do we have? This is a pump control for something.
sign. This is a suspicion for an area where hostages were being held. We're now looking
Do you have a video where the WHO sign was in? What is going
at
on?
infrastructure. You don't need to build something improvisedly in a hospital in the basement.
I think you kind of do if you're getting shelled. I got it.
You want to hold someone in the basement?
I think if the top of the fucking hospital is at risk of, from whoever, getting shelled, quickly building a shitter in the basement is probably for the best. Also, if people are hiding down there because they got kicked out of their houses, you would build a toilet. Also, this toilet just looks like kicked off the side. That's not too bad.
You don't want anyone to see him. Again, we're in the same basement, and here we see diapers, and we see, I don't know, maybe something.
Unused diapers.
You see diapers. I want you to see.
Thank you for that information. And we're here in the basement. We see diapers. Hamas. What the fuck is going on? Why did the IDF let this guy make a
this
video?
room. It's in there.
Also, he is still bleeding from his head. Can we just say that? Can you guys see this enough? Can I zoom it in? I can't zoom it in. But he is bleeding from his head still. And it's leaking into his eye. Why? Why is this happening? What? This video raises so many more questions. I'm viewing it through the, you've heard me trying to give a possibility of what the fuck I'm looking at. We are researching this still. He pointed at just some shit on the ground.
Basement of the hospital.
Is this guy like undergoing, does he have a fucking concussion right now? And like he needs like serious medical attention? They're like, Rear Admiral, you just walked full force into a wall. Like, you're bleeding. And he's like, no, I need to talk about the Hamas.
We can see this area is a closed area from the rest of the hospital. We can see the ventilation air.
Because there's an open area right there.
Improvisedly to this area. And we can see infrastructures that was built in here. Toilets, shower, a small kitchen will provide the terrorists their needs.
It would provide to anybody their needs. Also, I can't believe how like smart they, like, shout out whoever built this and then put in a fucking exterior venting hood. Because you would think like you wouldn't want to add a hood to like, you know, a vent to clean out the showers and like make all the humidity go out, but they tried to build this as up to code as you can in what could literally just be a Gazan fallout shelter. This has more, this screams fallout shelter to me more than anything, because the one items that I've seen that are connected to anything that's on like permanently attached to this, it's a living area. I'll give you that. It's definitely a living area where people are in a war zone. It's underground. That makes a lot of sense to me in a general sense. But we've seen diapers, women's garments, and like a little kid's room. You know what I'm saying? It's not to say nothing bad happened here, but like it screams more like a hiding area in a war zone. And then you maybe put some stuff in it It just doesn't. It just doesn't work for me. Like if it was like, were there hostages? Is that what you were saying? There was hostages in here. There's no blood anywhere. There's no like marks. There's no like, they don't build very nice big toilets and stuff for hostages. I'm telling you, I've seen videos of how that goes down from other countries. You shit in buckets. You know what I'm saying? They're not putting in fucking cycling hood in a goddamn shower for you.
Also conduct a hideout.
Also, dead ass. We almost bought this towel rack from Target for my house.
A hideout where terrorists take hostages and hideout. And I will show you now the evidence. You're now entering into the room where we suspect the hostages were being held. I want you to look at this room.
In the VIP? They were holding the fucking hostages in the VIP. This is a VIP lounge. We talking about fucking, this is nice as shit.
People are putting curtains with nothing above, just wall. No reason to put here a curtain unless you want to film hostages and deliver movies. And now
it's people hiding underground and they want to feel like they're not hiding underground, so they put a little curtain on the wall. That is insanity. You guys got to get fucking Rear Admiral off the camera.
Evidence. In this room, there is a list. This list, in Arabic.
So I can just tell, like, and I saw this before, this is a calendar. I think anyone can see this is a calendar. With, it looks like repeated names, right? 1, 2, this guy, same-ish, these two. That looks like a calendar. I'm going to assume if you're in the underground area and the calendar is here, that this is somebody's work list.
This list says we are in an operation. The operation against Israel started in the 7th of October. This is a Guardian list where every terrorist writes his name and every terrorist has his own shift guarding the people that were here.
That could be it. I don't speak Arabic. And nobody watching this video in America speaks fucking enough Arabic to understand what the hell is going on. I mean, does anybody have a fucking a translation for this? There might actually be one of the things, but I have no idea. It does say 7/10/2023. That's like the foreign. So yeah, 2023 September or October 7th. But I mean, like, honestly, if you went and like we went into hiding at that time too because we knew it was about to be fucking bad. Also could be true.
I'm here in Gaza
and then we're
City.
done. So this was fucking insanity. Where are the tunnels inside the hospital? Ahmad with a very good question. Why is it called raw footage when it is edited, spliced, and cut right the way through? I mean, absolutely. It's just, let's see, a Guardian list. It's literally just the days of the week in Arabic. I can't tell. I don't know because I don't know enough Arabic. There's such a desire for support from both sides of this thing, and I guess maybe the script for how that was put together was designed like for boomers in the 1970s and 80s when we didn't have any sort of connection to anything, and you didn't have the internet to try to help you like figure out what the fuck was going on. Because, like, Hamas, there's a lot of Palestinian people who are posting shit, and they do very similar stuff. I don't have the video saved immediately, but there was one guy who was just like, oh, look, the Americans and the Israelis have a new bomb they're trying on us. I've never seen a bomb like this before. And he showed a video, and I'm like, I'm literally looking at a fucking gas line fire. There is no bomb that would do that, because, first off, it's a waste to set the same area on fire that's already burning. You want to start fires. You don't want to bring the fire with you. We learned that. That's not the best way. And it's like this giant cloud of literally gouting flame. That's a gas line fire. They hit a gas station or a natural gas line. That's exactly what that is. I know what I'm looking at. And then like during the filming, somebody just drops a pipe behind them, like, and you hear like ding 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 ding. And then the guy's like, in the comments, he says, well, when America, they help the Israelis to bomb us, sometimes pipes are thrown from the explosion. They land throughout the city. It's like, They land through the city just perfectly next to you and just go like they just fell casually. That's thrown from an explosion. That's how they sound. And it's very irritating. I'm very irritated by all of the people talking about the conflict that managed to bring themselves to the forefront and just fucking are clearly lying or being duplicitous with the truth. Like, I don't know what you're trying to do. I mean, I guess you're pissing off boomers who are going to freak out and piss their pants, but that was the most bizarre video I've ever fucking seen. It never explains a lot of stuff. One of the most important things, aside from you showed me a tunnel that goes down underground that's clearly some sort of service entrance, that's fine. I never see how that tunnel connects to the hospital. You showed me an entrance to another tunnel, and I don't know what that does at all. I don't know what that tunnel does at all. Like, it was like, oh, this is an entrance to a tunnel. We have another entrance to another tunnel over here. You could have drawn me a map. You could have labeled stuff. You could have translated the languages. But most importantly, you could have told me why that guy was fucking bleeding. Because I cannot hammer this home enough. The man was bleeding from his head the entire time, which, no offense to him. Maybe he got shot in the face by a talented Hamas sniper immediately before and wanted as his last act of heroism to narrate this video. But in my life, I have always found it's a little bit harder to trust the faculties of someone who's speaking to me while suffering from a literal bleeding head wound. Right over his fucking forehead. And I don't know if there's a metaphor for a guy that is like a rear admiral bleeding from the head so that blood goes into his fucking eyes, trying to tell me what he sees about war. But that is the fucking wildest shit. It was the wildest shit. And I don't know why you tried to get away with it. It's insane. Even if everything you said was true, you presented it in such a stupid fucking way. I literally cannot believe you. Not I don't. I can't. I will just not accept that provision of evidence because it's the most insanely stupid shit I've ever been presented with.